Have you ever encountered a situation in which you simply cannot start working on a project, procrastinating for a long time, thinking that you may be lazy, but it feels like something doesn't add up? Here are 15 proven signs you're a perfectionist and how to overcome it. Number 1. You're most focused on avoiding failure instead of reaching success. You know you're a perfectionist if this applies to you. When you should start working on a project, the first thought that comes to mind is about reassuring that your endeavors would not be a failure. If this thought persists in your mind with much more importance than the excitement caused by an eventual success, this situation should lead you to some self-introspection. And of course, this leads to the impossibility to develop the necessary skills for reaching your expectations because you don't let yourself make mistakes. You will have to understand that success only comes after a series of failures, because those failures are very important in the process of learning. Number 2. Striving for excellence and demanding perfection are not two different terms to you. There is nothing wrong with wanting the best outcome that you can possibly achieve. But the problem is occurring when you reach the level of not being capable to distinguish the realistic outcome from the ideal outcome, which is an ideal with a reason. It cannot be reached, and its main purpose is to let you set the orientation towards your goals. Number 3. You are judging yourself and others too harshly. Having a pronounced judgmental tendency about your own and others' actions may come especially from your perfectionist behavior. The attempt to be perfect is the epitome of insanity. It is damaging our emotional and mental health. But given the fact that we live in a society that magnifies mistakes, it is no wonder that so many people attempt the impossible task of being perfect. But this is okay. It is natural to focus on the imperfection, as this widescreen's perfection is absorbed only by the imperfection of a single black dot. Number 4. You try to keep the appearance of your life the same as your polished projection about it. If you'd have a time machine, you would certainly use it to make things right. You wish everything to be perfect, untouched by the negative side of life, by the bad situations which you have experienced. You would like to look back on your life and see this perfect story filled only with happy moments and success. This leads us to engage in a comparing mindset where we measure ourselves in comparison to others in almost everything we do. And we almost always come up short in our estimation. But skill and knowledge come through countless attempts, not through executing perfectly from the first time. A beginner should not compare his work against that of a master's. The only work you should compare your work is your previous work. Number 5. You care about others' opinions about you. Every project, every action, every behavior of yours is a subject of judgment in the eyes of others. At least that's your opinion. This problem has a simple fix. Simply understand that nobody cares other than you. Once you realize this one, your life will change for good. Let's get honest. Nobody really cares about your personality, especially if they don't know you. For instance, you don't really mind my accent, you just want to hear what I have to say about this topic. And yet, initially, I was very reserved about making these voiceovers myself. And that simple thought did not let me start this project for a long time. But I came to realize that this is not about me here. It's about the content, it's about the topic, and the final outcome. Number 6. You don't acknowledge nor celebrate your small wins. You should be aware of the fact that overlooking any of your victories will eventually lead to low level of self-esteem due to the lack of gratitude about what you have done so far. Perfectionism doesn't let you be happy and self-sufficient. It makes you constantly chase for more and more without even realizing any of the achievements you have done. It is a vicious cycle that is centering on the idea that you never do enough, you never have enough, and you never are good enough. The problem arises when you set standards that are impossible to meet and then devalue work that doesn't meet the impossible standards. The right mindset is to continue to prepare really well, then relax when you start doing your thing and just do your best. Don't wait for perfection, go for progress instead. Number 7. You procrastinate due to your fear of failure. Because of the delay that comes with the fear of making mistakes along the journey through which you have to go, you may reach the point of labeling yourself as a lazy person or a master procrastinator. The problem is that you do so without being aware that this is not about your diligence, but your unreasonable standards. We all have flaws, fears, and insecurities, and that's perfectly okay. We don't have to strive to achieve the impossible. Number 8. You wait for the perfect circumstances. Even if you said that today you will go to the gym, you will find so much excuses like, it's too cold outside, the gym is already overloaded, I don't feel like it, I just ate, and so on. And you will never find the time to go just because you want to be perfect, as you imagined it. However, if you really want to keep up with a good routine and consider yourself much more self-disciplined, you will have to get comfortable with good enough. Yeah, it is raining outside and I don't want to go to the gym today, but I can make some exercises at home, even if they're not at the same quality. Because in the end, I want the pragmatic results that comes from exercising, not the romanticized part of it. Number 9. You are feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start. You often have this sensation of high mental pressure and anxiety due to so much responsibilities you have only because you set yourself standards too high to be reached. A simple belief that will take this pressure off your shoulders is that nothing should be done. It is preferably, but it's not necessary. Just think about it. Number 10. You wear the not good enough label due to the pressure you place on yourself. Looking yourself in the mirror, you only see this unsuccessful person which didn't reach its potential. But the problem is that this potential is not measured correctly, as I repeated myself in this video. Many of us have been conditioned to hold ourselves to impossible standards due to the ease of access of the internet and social media platforms, situation that succeeds to deform our image of the ideal life. And this is because we compare ourselves with the polished version of the high achievers which are at a far distance from us in terms of success, and most probably they have so many years ahead of us. With every mistake, we learn, we grow, and we understand life a little bit more. Let yourself find your inner peace and self-acceptance. Number 11. You have unrealistic expectations from you, others, and from your life. There are 3 types of perfectionism, as described by American Psychology Association. The self-oriented perfectionism, or imposing an unrealistic desire to be perfect on oneself. The other-oriented perfectionism, or imposing unrealistic standards of perfection on others. And the socially prescribed perfectionism, or perceiving unrealistic expectation of perfection from others. None of this is a good one. Those conditions don't let us persevere in our projects anyway. Of course, there are some ups and downs to every type, but in the end, it manifests with the same downsides as an obstacle between you and your dreams. But don't let your imperfections crumble you. As the saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Number 12. Competitiveness is much handier than collaboration. It is much more natural to you to be competitive against friends, family, and the rest of the society instead of collaborating. Reassure yourself from time to time that if you enjoy what you do, you don't necessarily have to excel at it. Number 13. You are shrugging off compliments. Just because you want more and more, you simply don't allow yourself and others to give you compliments. Obviously, you don't shut their front door when they come up with some praise to you, but your reaction to those is just like an impenetrable wall of low self-esteem. Next time, when someone will come to you with a compliment, receive it as it is and just say thank you. Number 14. You spend too much time tweaking. Don't let yourself lose in details. Life goes by even if you like it or not. I'm not saying you to put crap out into the world. Work hard and put your best effort. But from that point on, the endless tweaking is not getting you anywhere. As Mr. Reid Hoffman said, if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you have launched too late. Number 15. You don't pursue your goals because of uncertainty. If you just doubt about the external circumstances and your chances to succeed in your endeavors, your first reaction is just delaying your project until maybe it's too late. But if you will focus just enough time on getting a little bit better each time, you will see that the results will not be delayed. After all of this, I would like to know, how does perfectionism stand against your success? You can answer by writing in the comment section. I will read and respond to every comment, as I would love to engage with you guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing in order to ensure that you will receive the next videos around the topic of mastering the success mindset. Until then, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.